Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NuWhoZone's NuWhoZone. We're on Series 8, Episode 3, and it is the one and only Robot of Sherwood. Yes, Robot of Sherwood. Well, as you all know, I'm not particularly fond of this story, but, as it's been a while since I've seen it, you never know. You never know, I might actually enjoy it. This time, we got one of our members and our mod in the chat. It's the one and only Chris Persia, and he says, evening real super doctor, and hello Noel, welcome. And he says, hail PD Rich. Welcome. It's nice to see us actually talking about membership, because I have to remind you, it's part of the YouTube thing. You have to let people know what you've done. So we got a new level. It's companion level, and it's $1.99. So if you want access to member streams, $1.99 for that. Obviously, if you're Time Lord level, you get all the extra perks that go with that, and that's $5.99. So $4.99. Sorry. So I was asked to give a lower level, and if I gave that lower level, some people would consider becoming a member. So if you press that join button, there's 2 different levels. Up to you which level you choose, and that'll give you access to the NuWhoZone, the RTD streams that I'm doing. It's just myself talking about each episode, and I'm watching along. While we're watching along, I get to talk a lot more than I normally would on these panels, because we've got other guests and I've got to accommodate everybody else. But those, it's just me talking about the episodes, my favorite scenes and stuff like that. And also, you'll get access to the interviews that we've been doing. We've interviewed the likes of Daniel the Legend, Jack as well. Also, Problem Being, Cultivated Media, and much more. And we've got more interviews to come. I will be announcing the guests as soon as I arrange now dates and times with those people. But we have people lined up, and some guests that haven't been on the channel in a while. So if you want access to them, as I said, there are 2 levels now. So press that join button, become a member, become part of that little community. It's a little community within a community, if you get what I'm saying. And everybody gets on. And yeah, and I have to say, even if I do go live and there's nobody in the chat, people, the members are watching the streams after the fact. So thank you for that as well, because I really appreciate all of the support. Really do. So thank you. Appreciate it. And what I will do is, because there does seem to be a bit of confusion, I'm even confusing myself here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put out a proper schedule, right? And I'll throw it up on the main channel, proper schedule, so everybody will know what days, what streams are on, and when we have member streams, and they'll be on the same time. I already did one, but we have to make a few new revisions to that. So we'll throw up the video so there's no confusion, and everybody will know when member streams are happening, when other streams are happening. And of course, obviously, if there's things to be talked about in the Doctor Who, like if breaking news, that'll happen as well. Just pop on and you'll have those streams as well. But the ones that we can actually schedule and have a plan for, I'll put that schedule up. And if anything changes, obviously, if there's any breaking news, we'll push it. I will let you know that day. But what I'll do now is just before I start bringing me guests on, and I have sent emails out to everybody. So I just want to check my phone because sometimes the emails don't go through. So I want to see if I've gotten any messages on Messenger just to remind me that the email hasn't been sent, because I don't want to miss anybody today. So we'll see who's coming on. We've already got two people waiting in the studio. We will bring them on in just a second. I'm just getting this ready as well. So Doctor Who, have it there. So we're good. We're good. We're good. So let's see. I'll just see if I got any messages to see who's popping on and who's gonna miss today. As I said, you know, um, if there's a particular episode you don't like, it's fair enough. I understand that there's certain episodes I wish I wasn't here for, but I have to be because I'm the host. So if there is a particular episode that you don't want to watch, that's fine. Fine, fair enough. That's all good. I better let this fella know that I've sent him an email. Yeah, he's probably getting a cup of tea or getting his food ready. But we're starting shortly because I want to get going. Cheryl's a bit under the weather. She saw a bleeding headline in the bleeding newspaper that upsetting her. And in fairness, it's actually fucking horrible. But we'll see now. So, we did lose someone. Oh, he's back again. Hopefully, he's not having issues. But yeah, there might be now. I'm just gonna say word of warning. Over the next couple of days and week or so, there might be an interruption with everybody's internet and satellite and stuff like that. Because if anybody has actually been paying attention, not to all the scaremongering by the media, but there has been articles out there that have actually said that NASA has warned people that there's going to be, solar flare activity, and it's going to be continuous. So this is why we were actually having the weather that we're having. It's got to do with solar flare activity and nothing to do with the nonsense that all of the media is talking about. Because if people actually do their research, you'll see NASA has actually put out a warning, right? So, as I said, the solar output has a lot to do with air climate change and nothing to do with what Greta Thunberg and all of her other pals like Prince Harry are talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. So don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to and look out for those. Even the Mirror's reported on it, for God's sake. Right? The solar flare activity it's very active. We're going to have one of the longest solar flares in the history of solar flares that's going to happen in the next couple of days, the weeks to come. So look out for that. Look out for that. Because as you all know, I'm a big space buff. I've got my own telescope. It's worth over €300. I can look at planets and stuff. And, I've observed Mars, Jupiter, Venus, the moon, and all sorts of objects in the sky. So I'm well informed. I keep well informed. I follow a lot of these sites and stuff like that. So I'm up to date. I know exactly what's going on. People just need to educate themselves, stop listening to the media and all of these celebrities. They don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because we want to get straight into this watch along. So I'm going to bring my guests on, and hopefully everybody can stay. Because as I said, the internet is playing up a little bit. But let's get this done and bring on our guests. So without further ado, we've got the one and only real super doctor.
Hey Noel, how you doing?
Not too bad, you?
Not bad. See, the solar flare activity is it's because of the mass coronal ejections coming from the sun,
Yeah.
and because the planet is in I think it's in a period of a pole shift at the moment. It could be going into a pole shift, and we could get an electromagnetic pulse from the sun, like a kind of EMP strike, and
Yeah.
fry out all the power grids.
I know. They don't actually They don't actually realize. That's what I said. If you're well informed, you know exactly what's going on with the weather, right? These people that are talking, look at them. Prince Harry, right? Look at his education as a prince, right? It wouldn't have been the education that we got and stuff like that, right? He's a prince, different sort of education. Look at Greta Thunberg. So she
Yeah.
left fucking school, didn't she, or something? Or she skipped school to do all this nonsense. How is she educated on the climate? Whatever how old she was when she started talking about as a 16-year-old, wasn't it? Like, what would she know? Like, she is a scientist. No, stop listening to these people. They're not scientists. And the scientists that are talking about this have actually sold out, right? NASA is the place where to go. And listen, I don't always trust NASA, but when it comes to solar flare activity and stuff like that, they're spot on. And there's other observatories out there that are actually independent that are talking all about this, right? John is absolutely right. The Earth has already moved off this axis by a couple of degrees. They've actually even confirmed that. We are heading towards what John has said. We're probably heading towards a climate shift, but it's nothing to do with us. So it doesn't matter. You can have all the electric cars you want in the world and all these wind farms. It's not going to make a difference. It's still going to happen. It's got to do with the sun. Nothing to do with it, fucking what we do. Anyway, let's move on because I don't want to get bogged down on this. I just want to get straight into this watch along. Anyway, our next guest is the one and only PD Rich.
You did that on purpose. You changed the day on purpose.
I don't think I did. No, because when I checked the YouTube channel, it said 7 days, so that's a week. So
we do it on Wednesday. I thought we did it on Tuesday last week.
No, Tuesday is the RTD one, I think. I think I have changed. I don't know, man. It's been a weird week with all the shit that's happened. But
it's better for me on Wednesdays anyway.
But I'll do it Wednesdays anyway because it is better. You're right, because I prefer doing the one on Tuesday on the channel because because you get news. If you're going to get any news, it'll be either Monday or Tuesday. You know, you don't really get much Doctor Who news midweek unless it's something major like today with Akinola stepping down. But anyway. We'll leave it there. I've already covered that. If you haven't seen that video, that stream, it's available now up on the channel. But let's bring on our next guest. I had him on a member stream recently, and it was a great member stream as well, I have to say. We had a nice chat. We actually had my last two chats in particular, and that's not any disrespect to anybody else. I've enjoyed every single chat. But the last two chats, Lee and Chris, very interesting chats they were. They were different to what we normally do. Me and Chris it was just random talk there, but Lee was telling us some nice stories about his time as an extra and other stuff. It was very interesting. So again, check those streams out if you're a member. If you're not, you know, as I said, there's 2 levels there. Check them out because they are worth checking out, I have to say. But here he is, Lee Pal, Problem Being.
Hello.
I have to say, I really did enjoy that chat. I have to say, I really did. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have to do it again. When I get this next round, I guess we'll have to do it again and think of something else to talk about because I really did actually enjoy the last 2 chats. I've enjoyed them all, but just, I don't know, it's just me mood has just been a little bit more, I've been a little bit more cheery, if you get me, you know?
Well, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a change.
And just to talk about the sun thing quickly. Yeah, I mean, the sun's been what's been called a solar minimum for a number of years. It goes through its short cycle, which is the 11-year cycle, and it goes through a much longer cycle that lasts thousands of years. But it's been particularly quiet. It's actually been sort of like it's hibernating almost, and now it's coming back alive, and it seems very active. So yeah, that's the driver of climate right there up in the sky.
Yeah.
It's a driver of weather, it's a driver of clouds, it's a driver of aurora borealis and australis.
So look at the colour of the sun. Everybody just has to look up at the sky. Look at the colour of the sun. It's changed.
Don't look directly at the sun.
Well, I mean, not directly, but if you look at the colour of the sun is changed. Folks, look, it's changed, right? Okay. You don't need to be an expert here, right? All you need to do is just dig under the surface. Don't be listening to, when it comes to the mainstream media and all of these other idiots. Don't do your own research. We've been saying this for years. The only way you're going to be informed in this world nowadays is if you do your own research. There are still legit sites out there and legit information out there. It's just hard to find.
Just remember that the sun itself is not static, right? It's moving through the galactic plane.
Exactly.
And it's not just doing it in a straight line and going around in a spiral. It's actually up and down, like in a corkscrew almost.
Yeah, they show it. They've actually showed a great animation.
Imagine we're on the outside of a carousel. That's what the galaxy's doing.
Much.
We're spinning around. We're going up and down, up and down.
So the sun is moving through different volumes, if you like, of plasma and different fields, electrical and magnetic fields. So it's experiencing different environments as it's traveling along the galactic plane. So it's going to change.
Yeah. That's why in Star Trek, when they go back in time, sometimes they get very much lost. They think they're arriving back at Earth, and they end up like about, like 20 parsecs on the other side or something like that.
Now, the scary thing
in different positions.
Yeah, but the scary thing about this is that we could have a situation like that. Do you remember that movie with Nicolas Cage years ago called Knowing? The Knowing.
Yeah.
Where you had the solar flare activity. Now NASA have said that we won't experience anything like that, but these solar flares that we're going to get are going to be the biggest ones in recorded history. So it's going to be very interesting. I actually put up a video on Twitter. I had never seen this in my life. I was in the bathroom. I missed it because Noel has to miss something major that happens in Ireland because that's just the way it is. I just seem to fucking miss out on everything. But Cheryl heard the thunder and lightning. But there's a video at Dublin Bay, the Poolbeg towers. They're the most famous towers. They're going to pull them down years ago. It was for the ESB, so electric. It was. They don't use them. They're redundant now, but they're part of Dublin City. When you see Dublin tourism, they show you these red and white towers, right? They're smokestacks, right? But they're skinny smokestacks. So I showed a view. Someone was in St. Vincent's Hospital, was directly across from it. And I don't know how they did this, but this is one once in a lifetime shot to actually get. But they could hear the thunder. So they decided to get that camera phone out and record over where they could hear the thunder. And they actually caught the moment where the Poolbeg towers were struck by lightning, right? And it looked pretty impressive. And I fucking missed that. I would have seen it, right? Because there was another view that they showed where you just see, do you know the way you see the lightning in America where it goes through the sky and it looks real scary? That's the way it was here yesterday. Right, the sky was also, but here's the thing that I knew it was got to do with the sun. Look at the color of the sky last night, right? The color of the sky last night was and the color of the sky the day before,
bright orange.
Bright fucking orange.
Wasn't red, bright orange,
and a red hue. And you're right, Lee, with a bit of a red hue going through some of it.
Dusty orange.
That's the fucking sun. You don't need to be.
Back in the late 19th century, there was a massive CME directed at Earth, and that's the key. If it's directed at Earth, it can effectively be a kill shot. I mean, it can. And what it did in the late 19th century was it knocked out all the mass communication at the time, which was telegram communication.
Yeah, exactly.
It took them months to fix. So
look at the situation we'd be in now, Lee, with all the technological stuff. Will satellites fall out of the fucking sky and all this? This is what we have to worry about now. But look, I'm not trying to scare people. We'll be fine. NASA, there's no need for NASA to actually tell us that we're not fine. Look, why lie? If we're all going to die, we're all going to die. You might as well just fucking tell us so we can live our best few days or whatever. You know what I mean? If there was real danger, they'd tell us. But they have said that it is going to cause havoc to communication. Internet is going to be very spotty. And your satellite, and I've noticed as well, you're watching Sky News or something, or you're watching Sky Sports News. I say, sorry, I don't watch Sky News, Sky Sports News, and the screen starts fucking doing that bleeding where it's, the glitch starts glitching like mad, and then it'll freeze, and then it'll correct itself. I've noticed that over the last couple of weeks and months anyway. I think we all have our internet.
My Wi-Fi excuse me, eating a ham sandwich. My Wi-Fi has been very spotty lately, and it's very rarely ever spotty. So definitely some electromagnetism.
We've had a few brownouts in our area too.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Look, I find all of this fascinating anyway. I've been following these live YouTube streams where they're actually monitoring this now, and it's going to be spectacular. And I hope I'm awake when that solar flare blows, because I want it's amazing to me. People don't realize how amazing our universe actually is, and you know what? This is the thing. We are a small, minute part of this whole universe, and we're in and whether you like to believe it or not, we're insignificant compared to the rest of the universe. And those new images from that James Webb telescope are wow. I
look at it differently. I think everything in the universe is significant.
Has a purpose.
Yeah.
Do you think everything in the universe has a purpose, Lee?
There are no islands in space.
Do you know what we're going to talk about?
That's why you see all these galaxies all connected by these bridges and ropes of.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Me, you, PD, Rich, and if John is interested in this topic of conversation as well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Next week, we'll try squeeze it in, and we'll do a member stream on it and talk about this shit.
Yeah, sure thing.
Right? Yeah. Because I'm fascinated by all of this, and by the sounds of things, you guys are well informed as well. So I wouldn't mind talking a bit about that.
Einstein was wrong.
Yeah, well, we won't get into that anyway. Anyway, let's get into this watch along. So, guys, if you're already in the chat, you know we always have a little bit of a chat at the start. Well, last week it didn't. We got straight into it, but today there was a lot to be talking about. So, so that's that. So, if you're ready, you know what to do. Press 1 in the chat, and if everybody on the panel is ready, or you got your DVDs or whatever you're watching it on ready, just let me know in the private chat. Just say we're ready in the private chat there. Real Super Doctor says 1. Yeah, just say 1. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know you don't have to be scared about it. Listen. One day.
Well, there's fuck all you can do about
it. Listen, yeah, exactly. But I will say this, and he will agree with me on this. One day, this Earth will be hit by a solar flare that will destroy this planet. It will happen. It just won't. I just don't believe it'll happen while we're here, but it is gonna happen. And it'll be, we won't be around to see it, but it'll be a bit like the end of the world scenario. That's what will happen. And that's it. That's just the way the universe works. And you never know, from all of that destruction of the Earth. You never know. One rock hits off another, and blah 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 blah, and then before you know, you might have a new planet. Space is weird,
man. Blue sun. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
anything aimed at us rock-wise will have a difference in current. So it will be differently charged.
Yeah.
So and the Earth has a natural force field anyway. That's why when you see big hunks of rocks flying at us, they skim the atmosphere, glow very bright, and then burn up and explode in the atmosphere. That's what happened at Tunguska. It won't actually hit the Earth. It will fragment, because there's a point where it will fracture and weaken, because not only the Earth's atmosphere, but also has to contend with the Earth's magnetosphere. So that will break it up before it hits us. It's the smaller bits that you need to worry about than the big one.
That's it. That's what there is actually right now. There's live
the explosion, footage, the energy release.
Live footage on the they say it's live footage, but it's not really live footage. But it's the International Space Station, and they actually have footage of this comet right now that's over the Earth, that's just gonna pass by the Earth. So that's happening as well at the same time, by the way, as all the solar flare activity. It's a really interesting time right now if you're a space buff or you're into all of this, because there's lots of stuff happening right now, and it's very exciting time for the community, believe it or not. Obviously if it all goes wrong, we're not going to see it coming anyway. So
you'll know about it in about 8 minutes.
That's it. Right. Anyway, are we ready to do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the chat
Yes
is
and no.
also ready. So when everybody's ready, because PD says yes or no. So when PD says yes, we'll get Lee to do the countdown.
Okay, let's do it.
And we will.
I'm putting all my sharp objects away.
Right, Lee. Without further ado, if you want to count down, go for it there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Go.
We're off.
Do you like him when he wears a different colour shirts?
Right, I just want to make sure I've got the same episode because the thing I'm using, they have they've done something. So is he on it? Is he writing on a chalkboard?
That's
right.
Right, it's the right one. Okay. Robin Hood.
She's a teacher. She doesn't know Robin Hood's a fake fictional character.
I can't take you to
I mean, that's worrying, isn't it?
He's made
In fairness, though, I don't know. Even reading about it in school myself in the early days, I thought there might have been some truth in it because it is one of those real old legends. Like we do like the idea of someone stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. Let's be honest. It is that classic story, isn't it?
Not exactly VAT, is it really?
But in fairness, I'm going to say this. You know,
Robin Hood.
They did a black and white Robin Hood movie years ago, and to me, I forget who was in it, but to me, that was the best adaptation of Robin Hood that we've had. The Kevin Costner one, it was an all right movie, but I mean, come on.
I got a little story about the Kevin Costner one. Took him 76 takes to get something right once.
And they'll cancel Christmas.
A friend of mine wrote the behind-the-scenes book for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
This episode, I kept thinking the Master was going to make a return on this. I didn't know when, but when I saw the it's a king or something like that. I haven't seen this in a few years. I thought he was the Master, the Forreston, the Sheriff of Nottingham.
The Sheriff.
I thought it was going to be a nice little twist to this.
Yeah.
How did that arrow penetrate the TARDIS?
Should have exploded. It should go. Just sitting here picking my nose, watching a title.
I don't think they're bad titles. I think that it's just
the graphics are good. It's the music's terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Delaware version of the original theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about that theme too.
Yeah, only Australia talks about that one. One episode.
I think this is absolutely ridiculous. When he gets out his spoons and, I mean, starts to fight Robin Hood with spoons.
Yeah, silly. It's trying to be Robin Hood Men in Tights, but we've had Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah, that is a funny movie. I have to say. I have a soft spot for that.
The store is closed.
Yeah, when he pulls the arrow out, there's no warhead on it. So it would have flown into it. It would have flown.
All property is theft. That's Marxism, folks.
Yeah. Robin Marxist.
Ha ha ha.
They make so many mistakes in production there. There's Clara coming out. My.
In fairness, great costumes. She would have been better. That's what I'm saying. She would have been better as Victorian Clara.
Yeah.
Because I think the costumes suited her a lot more.
And she would have been naive enough to think Robin Hood was real as Victorian Clara. But modern day Clara is like, stupid.
Is this where he fights him with the spoon?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a door open again.
In fairness, though, I did find this funny. I did.
I have my.
The broom's out the glove.
Did he just stick up his finger there?
Yeah.
Did you see that when he did that with the glove? It looked like he gave him the finger. I've only noticed that. Oh my God, the doctor gave Robin Hood the finger. Oh, for fuck's sake. Errol Flynn. Oh my God, the actor legend.
Yeah, the most enormous.
One of the first original stuntmen.
Yeah.
In Hollywood in the early movies.
Yeah.
A fucking spoon.
Yeah. It would have been smashed to pieces. Doing the whole Little John bit, it's like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. Why would Robin Hood do it again?
Moffat did try to make every episode big, though. I think that's what his problem was.
Yeah.
He just tried to make it look epic. I mean, if you had the money behind you, I'd say, right, fair enough. He did really try, God love him.
Yeah.
If this was classic Who, that would
Doesn't he just look like Anthony Ainley there?
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Would you get him to play the master?
Oh yeah. That's what I thought he was gonna be.
Yeah, I thought it was.
He's been in a few things. Wasn't he Tellarite in Star Trek?
It would have been absolutely perfect as the master.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna pay.
He looks a bit like Delgado as well.
Yeah, more Anthony Ainley, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree, Anthony Ainley more, but I could see a Delgado resemblance as well. But maybe a future master, that'd be deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fairness, this is already better than Legend of the Sea Devils. I agree with you there. I'm not going to disagree.
Much better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, even the sword fight, even though the Doctor didn't use a sword, it was still a much better sword fight.
Yeah. It's funny seeing
like,
Ben
don't get me wrong,
Jodie
did try in that sword fight, and she actually did. You have to give it. She did try, but it just didn't. It just wasn't choreographed properly. It was.
Yeah, kept playing down.
It was just like they told her to just swing. She even said it in an interview. Like, we didn't have any.
That is actually really dangerous. You don't actually do that. So I was so surprised they did that. I don't know who the stunt coordinator was.
This isn't a real sandal. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. But I think I think you summed it all up. I think he is trying just to push go for too much spectacle.
I can't wait until they actually make a decent Robin Hood movie.
Yeah,
because it is a story. Because it is an exciting story. It is a story that is good. I'd love,
Last two have been absolutely awful, haven't they?
Yeah. The Russell Crowe one is bleeding awful, mate. I mean, they try it yet again. But look, Robin Hood, it's as simple as this. If you're going to get someone to play Robin Hood, you get an English actor. Simple as that. Right. We do have a guest that's joined us. They just popped into the studio, but they've popped back out again. So we'll get them on. We'll get them on. Daniel, the legend, is also in the chat. Welcome. We got Jamie in the chat as well. Welcome. Right. Well, hopefully, here we go. Without further ado, sorry, I'll do that again. Without further ado, I introduce royalty onto the channel, the true queen of the TARDIS Zone and Type 40. Yeah, it's the one and only Queen Charlotte. I forgot to mention the Legends channel as well. He'll kill me for that. Sorry, Legend.
Hello, am I working? Because you were quiet. That's why I.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
But I literally was like, "Oh, I'm here," and then I was like, "Nobody's talking. I'm pretty sure they're talking, so I'll just come back."
No, we're here. Do you need a timestamp?
If you could, I've got it up. I just need to know where you are.
9
She
minutes
said.
40 seconds.
9
minutes.
I'm
40
talking to Robin Hood.
I've not seen this in ages, so this would be interesting. This episode.
I think
Yeah,
Ben
nothing's really happened yet except the sword fight right now.
Yeah.
Oh, the
with the
spoons.
spoon. Yeah,
He's
the
had the spoon
spoon.
fight.
Yeah.
And Ben Miller stabbed someone. There we go.
And the doctor is
yeah.
being suspicious, saying, he picked up a sandal and he said, that's not a real sandal, which made Lee laugh because that was actually a funny line.
Oh, he started testing them then, if they're robots.
Yeah, he thinks they're all robots. Thinks he's on some kind of, amusement park planet, doesn't he?
Very Westworld.
But see, if Clara already, this is one thing that bothered me about this story, but if Clara and the doctor already knew at the start, he knew where this story was going to go, but it seems like they get caught out quite a few times in this story.
Well, that's the whole point, though, isn't it? The doctor's got his idea what it is,
and Clara has hers.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually match the reality of what's happening, and that's what the story is all about: myths and stories, and how you can tell, like the whole idea of telling a story and how it changes. That's the whole idea. Oh no, now I'm on way too far. Right, what's the time now? On you?
11 minutes.
Oh, see, I was right then. That's annoying. Right. There we go. 10 minutes.
What time is it, Mr. Hood?
Right. I'm on 11 minutes. That will do now. Because then I'm just going to keep.
That is brilliant.
I like the John Cleese version from Time Bandits.
I can remember liking Robin Hood's actor.
You've never been to Nottingham.
Oh, let me just close the door.
The medieval times had a mini warm period.
Oh yeah, before that had a mini Arctic period, didn't we?
Maunder minimum.
That's the one.
Yeah, I can remember it was near the end that this episode did my head in when I first watched it.
Yeah. And it was that line from Clara that she was a girl from Blackpool.
Yeah. That made no sense.
No.
Why are you Sonic and an apple? What's he going to do? Warm it?
No, I think he was checking to see if it was real.
Oh, I see.
Because he thinks everything is fake. That's why he picked up the sandal. This is not a real sandal. He's trying to find anything that proves his theory right, that this is all.
This episode is a bit Rick and Morty, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could look at it that way, yeah.
Well, it's Gators, isn't it? I think I almost class Gators episodes in two camps. They're the really silly ones that are farcical, or the really scary, sort of serious episodes. You either get
Isn't he supposed to be disguised? Because everyone would know he was Lord Luxley, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of a shit disguise.
Looks like later on you might have another stream. I don't know. Yeah, I might wait till tomorrow, but maybe something's just at the popping up. Doctor Who.
Ben Miller's a good actor, though. I do like Ben.
Oh
Miller.
yeah.
It's always good what he was in.
And you can tell in this episode he's just loving being the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just chewing up every bit of scenery.
Yeah.
Possible.
God, that's so Anthony Ainley.
I know. I just wish that they could have brought him in the 60th.
They can always bring him back, though, man. They could always bring him back. We've had actors come back as different characters before, and they've made it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair,
good master, wouldn't they? Though, sorry, Charlotte.
I know I'm saying, and to be fair, this was like a one-off villain. And this is a very easy thing that you could bring him back, because I bet a lot of people don't even remember he was in Doctor Who at this point. So
Little John. He's been in a few things. That guy plays Little John.
But imagine if they could do that, they could actually bring back the Ainley Master and have him as the Ainley Master in Shooty Gatwa's episodes.
Oh yeah, have him recast. Yeah, that would be a good casting. Would actually
I do love this scene though.
Because I mean, if they could recast Hartnell, I mean, as David Bradley, I mean, they could do anything.
Which? A witch. Yeah.
See, and as somebody who really quite likes the Robin Hood myths and has like watched a lot of stuff about them, this is just fun, just to see this sort of Doctor Who version of such a famous part of the story just be utterly like just messed up on purpose because it's the Doctor just having fun, like, and just showing off.
Yeah, it is rusty.
I love these robot designs, though.
Yeah.
No. Here's Rusty Go from Stupid. Play Gobber in Stupid. Goober. Yeah, they're good designs, though. I thought it was Rusty.
Hi.
That is a good robot design, though. I do admit that.
Oh, I never knew that. Jamie's just said this was meant to be a two-parter.
In fairness, I think it could have been a two. Yeah, I think it would have been better if it was a two-parter.
Yeah, I think Ben, sort of the sheriff, would have been more fleshed out, and probably the idea of them being robots probably wouldn't have felt just as sort of quick. Remember watching this at the time, it made me go a bit like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We've gone from Robin Hood in the forest having jokes to this.
Do you notice that the laser beam is actually a cross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very Christian laser beam.
I mean, Moffat didn't hold back on killing people either, did he?
No, not RTD.
The only thing about Stephen Moffat is that
this scene I hate.
Yeah.
Some of the main characters died though, or so we thought, and he'd bring them back.
Yeah. Loose ends as well is one of the big things I hate about Moffat.
Well, the thing was with Moffat, it became so obvious. If he liked your character, you were going to be survived. Like, you were not going to die. It was just so obvious by the end of his run.
Yeah, he'd find a way of bringing you back.
Yeah, Clara, Amy, Rory. It was like he just couldn't let them die.
God, it feels like bottom, doesn't it? It's like low-level bottom.
Yeah, this is when it started. I remember watching this, and by the time we get to the point of them literally bickering in a cell, I was just like, "What an earth?"
Charlotte, what's wrong with your mic? It's really glitchy.
It's wait a second. Is that any better? It has had issues a little bit of late.
No, it's still doing it. Have you got the gain turned up too loud?
I can turn it down a bit and see if that fixes it.
Yeah, turn down the gain and turn up your volume.
The fact that Clara had to say to the two of them to, basically, you're too busy fighting with each other that there's no guard outside. Like,
Yeah.
screaming like two little boys. Like,
well, that's the whole point of writing that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undermine the character.
Gets a bit too Rick Mail in this scene, I think. Sounds like a Rick Mail. It's a bit like Blackadder and Flashheart when they're sparring. Just doesn't really go.
Right, how's that? I've done a bit of messing around.
That's
That's
better.
better.
Yeah.
I think it's because the iPad still doesn't like me. I think that's my issue. But I'm gonna have to work with. So
What did you do?
I just I unplugged it, put it back in, and messed around with the volume a bit.
Yeah. I think it's just the game will clip it and distort it. That's where the crackling comes.
Yeah.
But if you turn it down and then turn your volume up in your headphones, then you can.
Yeah. Usually, God love that. God love usually on Type 40. But I basically before we go live annoy everybody by saying like, "How's my volume? Is it working? Is it working?" So I get time to mess around with it.
Yeah. I'd keep those settings.
Well, I don't think it will remember it. I'll have to just
take a screenshot.
Yeah, I've had to do that a few times with Sound Blasters.
Right, let me just have a quick settings. That's what I need to go on, isn't it? So what is my... So 71. I need to remember that. 71. Seems to work better.
Yeah, you were clipping, yeah. Gooba!
See, this particular story was where I was kind of like, you know, this is exactly why the Stephen Moffat era, you know, never reached its full potential, because it became fairy tale. It became this thing, and that's not what Doctor Who is. You know, you can have the odd story if you want, okay, fair enough, but you know, it just became a thing in his era, and I just didn't like it. And again, you know, if you're going to kill someone off, have the conviction to kill them. You know, don't like... Go on, Charlotte.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember at this time, I just felt like he was making the Doctor seem too ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't the Doctor anymore. He was like this caricature, this sort of over the top version
angry
of
caricature,
the Doctor.
yeah.
And it was just like, no, the Doctor wouldn't sit in a cell and argue and have this childishness like, I'm going to laugh to annoy you. When it was, that's the thing. Like, you could tell he wasn't doing it because it was part of the plan. He just literally wanted to have an argument with him in the cell. And I was just like, no, the Doctor would be that stupid.
He became a soft Malcolm Tucker, and I didn't think it suited the character.
Yes.
It was like, well, I don't want to see Malcolm Tucker. That's his old role. I want to see Doctor Who. That's kind of why I lost it. It wasn't Capaldi's fault. It's just the way he's playing it.
Oh, you could tell he was completely how he's being directed. You could tell that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to see soft Malcolm Tucker. I've seen Malcolm Tucker. Yeah.
I remember because it was the two sort of, because the last episode, and I wasn't on, it was the Dalek one, wasn't it, before this?
Yeah, Into the Dalek.
So you had literally Moffat in one episode trying to argue, yes, he's just like a Dalek, which I was like, no, he's not like a Dalek in the slightest. But you're trying to convince me of that by making him overly mean in that episode and like overly heartless. And now in this one, I was like, and now he's stupid. It's like, Moffat, what are you doing with the Doctor?
I know. It's just, you're scratching your head. Everyone I know spoke to about this season was like, oh, that season was awful. That was bad. You know, it's not you, so it's like wrong with this season. I had some good episodes in it.
I honestly, I just think Moffat was still adjusting to not having Matt anymore as the Doctor.
Yeah.
It just came across as he needed like a season to almost get out of writing for 11 and to get used to writing for 12. And it shouldn't take a whole series to get to that stage.
Exactly, yeah. You know, it's just. I don't know how to use the term. It's penis sparring, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
really antithetical. You know,
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, doing something so stupid as to be competitive to the point that you screw up losing the keys down the drain. It's just not the Doctor.
Yeah. And it's a bit past his regeneration now to say, "Oh, it's his new regeneration." It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
you can't use that excuse.
yeah, you're a couple of episodes in, and it's gone.
I almost felt I remember thinking, it's almost felt this episode at times was somebody who didn't quite understand classic era trying to write a classic era episode.
Yeah.
Or your mic's gone weird again.
Yeah, you probably might need to plug your mic in and out again. Sometimes that helps.
Get a new mic.
I don't think it's the mic. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, mine keeps going wrong when I use sound effects.
Could be the cable, maybe.
Is it any better?
I think it's wireless.
We'll just have to.
Right, do you remember when I told everybody that don't be surprised if Doctor Who Confidential comes back because the whole malark was going to be coming back? Well,
Yeah.
Radio Times has announced that Doctor Who is reportedly getting a new behind-the-scenes BBC Three series similar to Doctor Who Confidential. So to all me haters,
Yeah.
screw you. I was right yet again.
It's bound to happen under RTD.
Anyway,
Well,
you didn't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. Anyway, I
Exactly.
didn't even need to get this information. You could have just predicted it anyway. Of course, it's coming back.
No, he
BBC
needs to
Three-
shut his mouth, and then
He needs a
stop
new
putting Doctor Who
flagship
in jeopardy.
show. So
But
that'll be that flagship show.
It is, but if he carries on doing what he's doing, you know, talking.
Yeah,
crap,
well, but it will be nice to see behind the scenes of his creation. So, because I did like Doctor Who Confidential, I think we all did. It was a part of when that went, we were all devastated at the time. I remember because it was a big, huge part. So I'm glad it's kind of come back, but it's called Doctor Who Unleashed this time. It's not going to be called Doctor Who Confidential.
Well, Doctor Who what?
RTD
Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Doctor Who Unleashed. So we will be,
Sounds a bit dodgy.
as I said, I'll do a stream on it. I'll put the Radio Times article up in the link description and we will talk about it. But there, again, it doesn't matter how long I put the information out. It all seems to pan out one way or the other. So there's again. Good to hear. Good to hear. Now let's hope they bring back Torchwood.
Yeah.
Oh no, and let's be fair, BBC Three needs a show like a Confidential.
BBC Three needs something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd actually do a spin-off. I mean, you've got other companions there now. You could do a spin-off with one of the other companions. You know, I'd actually like to see Martha Jones return. You know, you could get her. You know, if you. I don't think if you're going to do Torchwood, you should leave John Barrowman out. But if they did, I'd bring her in, bring Eve Miles back, and recruit some new people, and let Eve head Torchwood. I mean, Gwen head Torchwood. But I don't know. They'll need something more than just Doctor Who Doctor Who Unleashed, because that channel right now apparently is struggling at the moment. So it needs more than that. So maybe a spin-off start off on BBC Three. That channel could be the platform for some of these spin-offs to start off on BBC Three and then maybe move to BBC One or streaming platform. They could use their heads here. There's an opportunity. Anyway, this is where they suss it all out now.
I have just turned off my Kindle in case that's possibly doing anything. And the Wi-Fi's off on that, so see if that does anything.
Might be a Bluetooth.
Might be because I've got something close to it. I'm just thinking sometimes that does interfere. So we'll see if that fixes anything.
Yeah, nice picture of Patrick Troughton there.
I thought that was him.
Robin Hood, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is the thing that's sad about it. He doesn't realise that he's not Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still believe the core sort of premise I do like, which is Doctor Who actually looking at what is common myth. How do things become myths? Like, what's the relevance? What's the importance of these stories being passed along? And that's what I think Gatiss is trying to get to, but it just gets lost in a lot of other things that's going on in this episode.
Too chaotic, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. If they would have just kept it to that core premise.
Yeah.
With like, you can make some comparisons to the Doctor.
Yeah.
But it just became, like you said before, the Doctor acting like a child to try and like one up this Robin Hood because he's jealous almost, it comes across.
Yeah. I think this also suffers from a bit of stigma from the Robin Hood TV show as well.
Yes.
It's really bad.
Oh, I liked it. I remember watching that when
I
it
couldn't
came out.
stand it personally.
I do agree the last series was a bit...
Yeah, naff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd completely what Charlie Brooker said about it. I completely back Charlie Brooker up on that. I mean, I don't. People like it. I mean, it's fine. As I said, with people like Strange New Worlds. I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, I like stuff people despise. Dan Hadley and myself are both Highlander fans. There you go.
I don't know why you would land in Britain to get gold. I mean, surely you'd go to somewhere like South America, wouldn't you?
South America would be a much better destination.
The Incas or something.
Yeah. Or India or somewhere, you know. It's nearer the equator for gold.
Oh. Doctor just got knocked the hell out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did she get him loose?
It was Clara. She could do whatever she wanted, Lee.
No, I mean, like, how did the Doctor get out of the manacles? I mean, how does she have the ability to get them?
Oh, I don't know. Things don't make sense in this episode. Laser beams are now reflective. Could be using some kind of plasma energy. Yeah, and Ben Miller in the end comes off as a bit of a moron.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem. Comes off as incompetent in the end. It's like,
Yeah, but then I suppose if you look at how this, you okay, Noel? Yes, but the only I would argue, PD, a bit of the get out of jail card for that is in some of the versions of Robin Hood, the sheriff is. Oh, sorry, he's not the sheriff.
yeah.
The character he's playing is portrayed as a buffoon in some
Yeah.
Robin Hood stories.
Yeah. It's normally a guy of Gisborne was portrayed as a buffoon, though.
From my memory, it's usually guy that's portrayed as the more clever one, and then the king's brother being the idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I thought using the spoon was a bit silly, because there's a line in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. At least I didn't use a spoon. It's like, oh god, it's a Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
But how can something alter the course of history if it's not real?
Yeah, didn't actually happen.
Well, I mean, if you're going to blow up half of England, I think that would be pretty real.
Yeah.
Opiate of the masses. Marxism.
No, it actually wouldn't.
It's a bit Lord Flashheart, this bit.
This is good, though. This part.
Wasn't it red? Did he put that in a red one? It turned white?
I like a good, decent sword fight, though, have to say.
Yeah,
I
especially
think about he's done Robin Hood. He did a town called Mercy that was a cowboy one. You know, Moffat just had this weird obsession with doing different genres.
Oh.
Go on, Charlie. You were going to say something there.
I was going to say, and I think this episode does have very good production, so at least this looks good, this sword fight.
Yeah, because there was effort put into it. Like Jodie and Mandip said that they didn't even train for their sword
He
fight.
stabs it into a red thing and it turns white. Weird.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Well, Ben Miller's not coming back from that.
Yeah, now you just need to stop the fucking ship, lads.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Moffat
this
could
isn't
have
even
really
good.
made us all laugh if he had ended this episode with the song from Men in Tights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, for God's... See, this is what I didn't like.
Yeah.
Like, why, again, Clara's never fired an arrow before in her life, and now she's gonna...
Yeah.
Like, this was Moffat trying to appease the feminists.
Yeah.
I mean, RT... yeah, Moffat. I was right the
Oh,
first time.
please don't attack me. I'm Stephen Moffat. Clara doesn't know the show's not about her. Oh. So I'll just say off social media, Moffat.
But it blows up anyway.
Yeah. Makes absolutely no sense. They're trying to destroy it or send it into orbit.
So she just did that with the spaceship, and yet he's teaching her how to shoot a fucking arrow. Oh my God.
They all did it with the spaceship.
Well, to be fair, she didn't end up shooting the arrow that took the spaceship out. She
All
just
three of
held
them
the bow.
Well, I suppose the lads were holding each side, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just her, but she was like, he made a point to have her in the center and to look
Yeah.
like she was doing most of the work.
Yeah.
I do like that line though.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
she should not have told you any of that. I'm not a hero.
Mm.
Yeah, Jed kicks Clara out.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Bye.
Go, Marion. Next time. Oh, this episode. This was interesting, but then what he does to Danny Pink, it makes no fucking sense.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was a good episode. It makes no sense now.
This is a great episode, but this is Listen, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, is it Listen next? I can't remember.
Yeah. Makes absolutely
This
no
is
sense.
an epic episode, but then he fucking ruins it with it later on.
Killing Danny, yeah. Makes no sense.
Anyway, we'll that was Robot whatever of Sherwood. Who gives a crap of Sherwood? Anyway, let's get straight into it. We'll go along the panel, see what they have to say about this particular episode. So we'll start with the Queen, because she hasn't been here in a while, so we'll kick off with ladies first. So, Charlotte, your rating and your review and rating for this episode, please.
I'll start with the positives because I like to start with them. I think this is really well cast. Like, a lot of the supporting people are brilliant. I like the Robin Hood actor. I can't think of his name, sadly. Ben
Miller.
Ben Miller is like, if you want a villain, if you want a sort of mustache twirling villain, he's very good at that, and he plays it very well. The production's lovely, and I said I like the Robin Hood myths, so I like the fact that they really at times do keep very much to what you'd think for a Robin Hood story, with the sort of themes and the feel of it. But it's just that second half. As soon as they get into the Doctor, like, having this weird competition with him and having this cockiness and like stupidity, I really don't understand what Moffat was thinking.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, that's your central character that you are basically making an idiot just for a joke. I never got it at the time, and I still don't quite get what he was trying to do. So, and once again, it's not as bad as it got with Clara. She still isn't as like peak annoying levels yet, but you're starting to see very much the. I'm trying to think of it, like her, like when the plot wants her to be amazing, you're starting to see that happening now. That she can just do things without really explaining what how she did it and why. And I think honestly, it sort of ruins the good message, like I said, of this theme of why do we have folk stories? Like, why's Robin Hood survived hundreds of years when he probably wasn't real in the first place? Like, it ruins that by having the Doctor act the way he does. So, like I said, it's not all bad. There is some good bits in this episode, but I'll have to give it probably a 4. If I'm being kind, I'll give it a 4.
4 out of 10. Okay, real super Doctor, because I see that you're popping in and out, so we'll get you out next.
I don't think this is probably I don't think this is the worst episode of the Capaldi era, but there's worse ones yet to come. I think it's a bit ridiculous the fact that the fact that Robin Hood, that Clara wants to go back and see Robin Hood, and Robin Hood isn't a real person and all that, and it's just one of these episodes that kind of like fairy tale episodes, like Moffat wants to inject into it and all that, and Gatiss was writing it and that, and it's not one of Gatiss's worst episodes. He has worse episodes there, and this is quite kind of average to below average. I would give it a 4 out of 10. Certainly isn't a masterpiece.
Lee?
Yeah, Daniel's like, I hate Clara. Yeah, she's beginning to get irritating. I still like it. I remember watching it going, this is just a bit of a fluffy, fun sort of romp, really. I think if you look too much into it, I mean, there are a few eye-rolling cringe Marxist comments. But on the whole, I think I think the clear resemblance to between the what you call it, the Sheriff of Nottingham and Anthony Ainley's Master is just so on the nose. It's perfect casting for the Master. It was such a waste. I was hoping there would be, because I remember the big chatter about is he going to reveal himself to be the Master? That would have been so good. I love the robot design in this. You know, we all love robots, and we all love Robin Hood, so it's a nice little combination. I mean, it's stock standard kind of stuff, really. It's not exactly groundbreaking. What are the motives of the aliens? Why were they there in the first? Don't know, don't care. Yes, they need gold. So you go and land in the middle of Nottingham to find gold. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I like the little sword fights and the little interplay there. And you know, with his knocked into the pot of gold and his hands are clawing out over the side. I thought that was pretty cool, even though it's completely unrealistic. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid comedy. You've got to remember, Moffat came from a comedy writing background, and you've got Peter Capaldi, who's synonymous with cutting edge, biting comedy from the thick of it. And I think he's sort of trying to lean into that a bit too much. I think that was a bit of a mistake. I think they should have taken the sort of savage seriousness of and biting wit of that character from the thick of it.
Malcolm
Tucker. Yeah, but I think he's not Malcolm Tucker.
No.
You know, that's the thing. You can't conflate those two, and you want to play against type, really, which I think is what they sort of learned from this season going onwards. They sort of mellowed him out, and I'm kind of in two modes about that. I think I quite like the spikier Doctor. Grump. I like him being a bit.
I like it. I seriously, this is why I like Series 8. I like this grumpy Doctor. I wish they had just stuck it through.
Yeah,
but he changed them again for Series 9.
But they kind of undermine him in this story a little bit in the jail, and Clara's the one telling the two little boys to stop playing and fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so on the nose, and it just makes you dislike her immensely. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bit on the nose with the two sort of mythological heroes, and at the end you get that quite a nice speech, really, but it is kind of like, well, we're not heroes. Well, yes, you are, but about how they would inspire others, and that's true, or it was until after Capaldi. But look, it's a bit of fluff. It was an improvement on Into the Fucking Dalek, which I fucking despise still. I mean, I was a bit more generous in my appraisal last week, but I look, I still think this is, if you don't think about it too much, it's a good little bit of fun romp, and that'll do. So I'll give it a 6.
Fantastic. I just want to pick up on the Clara situation real quickly, and then I'll give me rating, because I think Clara is the result of Karen Gillan's companion, Amy, because the feminists were at Moffat all the time for putting her in short mini skirts or shorts or clothes that they thought were inappropriate for women to wear.
Mini skirts were invented by the feminist movement. The women's lib movement invented the mini skirt, effectively.
So I think that's why we got Clara. In fairness, it was a way to try and appease the feminists.
Karen wanted to wear that stuff.
I know, that's the thing. That's what I mean. But
exactly.
Fans didn't see it that way. Look, this is not my favourite episode. Everybody knows that. But I've got to judge it now. And is it as bad as I remember? No. I do agree with Lee. Robot design, pretty impressive.
Their motivations could have been better. I mean, look, and everyone holding plates to reflect the light of the lasers. It's just like, really lazy. But You know, you've got to fit everything into a 45-minute episode, which I still think is the wrong format for Doctor Who. I still think the serial, multiple episodes of a story. I still think that's the best format, the classic Who.
Before I watched it again, though, I would have probably given it a 4 straight off the bat because I didn't like this story. But after watching it a second time, I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Yeah, it's good fun. Look, I mean, as I say, if you don't think about it too much, it's a bit of a fun romp.
Yeah,
and
some of it doesn't make any sense. I have to admit that, but yeah, you're right. It's a bit like Love and Monsters for me.
Yeah,
it's a bit of fun. It's not supposed to be taken too seriously. Yeah. And with that, I'll give it a 6.5. But last but not least, it's PD Rich.
Yeah, I can agree with most of the panel says about this. Well, my problem is it started off well. It was a bit of a spectacle. I hated the Robin Hood reference with a spoon, fighting with a spoon. It's taken from Prince of Thieves. Like, oh no, don't do that kind of thing. But it started off well. Then suddenly it just turned into the Doctor fighting with Robin Hood, and this is Doctor Who, not bloody not Bottom or Blackadder. It's like this is not that kind of thing. It's Doctor Who.
Yeah, it did have a sort of Blackadder-y sort of.
Yeah, it had this like a Rick Mail versus what's his name versus Blackadder kind of thing. It's like what's his name? Tom Riley came off like Rick Mail, and the Doctor was coming off like what's his name? Who played Blackadder?
Oh, Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, sorry, I should know. I was reading Blackadder last night.
I thought we all had brain farts.
Yeah. I have them all the time, mate. It's called getting old.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. And then how many bloody times did the Doctor get imprisoned? It's like, this is getting pathetic now,
Well, he had a good logic for it. At least he explained the reasoning, like, to find out what's going on. You get yourself captured, and then you sort of... You know that the villain of the piece is going to give you a lecture about why they do what their motivation.
Yeah, he did it twice. It's like, why did you do it twice? It's like, once is more than enough. Oh, and then the whole thing we pulled out the sonic screwdriver. It's like that was just stupid. Why did you do that? You're just giving the game away. Oh, it's some good ideas in it. It was a big spectacle, but it was just too much what I call penis jousting. That's the only way I can describe it between him and the Doctor and thing. It got too Malcolm Tucker versus Rick Mail in the middle, and in the end, the sheriff just went a bit wacky, and it's like it's a shame because I like Ben Foster. I think he's a brilliant actor. I think he played a brilliant role in this. I mean, he did Foster. Yeah, Ben Miller. Sorry, not Ben Foster. What am I talking about? Ben Miller played a brilliant role. It's the heat getting to me.
He was Sir Anthony Ainley. I mean, it's just like the Master was staring you right in the face. What a waste!
I thought the next Master was going to be Ben Miller.
Yeah,
brilliant. No, they didn't. They went down a completely different route. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, it was that's one of the reasons I was disappointed by Missy's reveal in the end because I thought Ben Miller would have made a better Master. Even Ben Miller's death in this, they had to re-edit because originally he got his head chopped off, and you find out that the sheriff was a robot.
And this is the first episode as well in this season where we don't see Missy.
Yeah. Don't get don't see Ben Miller.
There was no thing at the end where you're in the promised land.
Yeah,
and that was mentioned in the story because they said they were looking for the promised land.
And as I just said, the sheriff was supposed to be a robot as well. That was a bit cut. That was cut out. That's why there's a bit disjointed in the story where he just turned around and say how ambiguous his childhood was and everything, and suddenly
his character was very it wasn't well defined. At the end, well, what was that about, really?
Yeah. If you read the Wikipedia,
was he a robot?
Yeah, he was. He was supposed to be. They edited it because of the beheadings, back in 2014.
Never mind the fact that a human being then gets chucked into a boiling pot of gold.
Yeah, it looks like he gets chucked into a boiling pot of gold when he was actually a robot. So as I said, they just by cutting it. Sorry, phone's going off. Just ignore that.
So, what would you give it out of 10?
I would probably give it a 6. I just think it's a bit Rick and Morty in the beginning. It's just too much slapstick in the middle, and it's just too ambiguous in the end. But it's a good attempt. It's not the worst episode Doctor Who I've seen. Not the worst episode in this season by a long shot.
No, and we got a cracker coming up next week, though.
Yeah, it was a cracker.
Listen, so
still a good episode though.
Yeah, it was a cracker until Moffat does what Moffat does, but we'll get on to that. Next week. So I'll get you guys to do your social media or channel shout outs. So we'll start with the Queen yet again.
Oh, thanks.
We'll
I
get to
mean,
that
the
one,
real
though.
Queen.
Yeah,
Well,
all right. Thanks.
Oh.
Go ahead,
so,
Queenie.
so you'll catch me on Thursday. So tomorrow night, hopefully, if this doesn't break completely on me by that point, I should hopefully be on Type 40 Live. And I wouldn't be surprised we might be talking about that confidential news. Then we'll see. And then on Daniel's channel soon, I think it's the 5th of August. He'll probably correct me in the chat now. We're back with Line of Duty reviews, and you'll catch me here whenever I'm not busy like I have been of late.
Fantastic. It's nice to see you anyway. And PD is throwing all of those links into the chat. Thank you. Good man, PD. And we'll go to you next, PD, while you're busy there.
You can somebody find me on Rabbi's chat, or you can normally find me with Dave Travels Through Time. And also, can you please subscribe to Jack Main's channel? Give him a bit of a boost. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll
Fantastic.
second that.
Yeah. Go and check out Jack's channel. We have a member stream with Jack as well. Nice chat as well. So check that out. Who's next? Real Super Doctor.
I've got a YouTube channel under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a Twitter account under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic. And last but not least, the second queen of the channel. You're being demoted, sorry, Lee. But it's you anyway. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give you yes, you can follow me on the Instas at All Dread Audio Visual, and my YouTube channel is also the same name.
Fantastic. And you can catch me here waffling away whenever I feel like waffling. I'll be waffling again soon. We're going to obviously talk about this Doctor Who Unleashed stuff. Let's see what the Radio Times and TV Zone magazine has also broke the news. So we'll see what the details are, see what the plans are. But very exciting times ahead for Doctor Who. It's just a pity that the showrunner right now seems to be on a mission of self-destruct.
Nuremberg rallying, yeah.
But I will still keep that to one side for now. But he is making it very hard for me to keep defending him. To be quite honest with you, I can't defend that comment if that comment is actually true.
For so long, yeah.
And it has to be called out, because I would do the same if it was Chris Chibnall, and I don't care how much I like RTD. If fans feel he's doing something wrong, or he has said something that shouldn't be said, well, then he's going to be called out for it. It's as simple as that. I just want him to concentrate on the show and to produce the best show that he can.
It's just playing into the division, you know.
That's what I mean. And we had too much of that now, and it needs to stop. So let's see. Look,
enough tribalism.
Look, at the end of the day, we've got to look at the situation that we're in right now and the atmosphere in the UK right now. We can not give him a pass as such, but we'll just see if it dies down now and see if he calms down a little bit and just concentrates on Doctor Who. And the fact that the comment has been removed suggests to me he might think.
Well, if anyone else said something like that, they'd be banned, wouldn't they? They'd be suspended off the platform. And
that's the problem. Yeah.
Again,
and I'm not asking him to be banned. All I'm just asking him to be, you know, like everybody else, he's talking about tolerance and stuff like that. Now, I will say that the person in question, he does look like a shit stirrer on his videos. I mean, he's banned off TikTok and all this fella, and he's been banned off like Instagram, it looks like. I don't know how he's been able to get a second account up. But this guy does seem very controversial. But the fact is RTD shouldn't have responded in the manner that he responded in. And now we're look, we don't want this shit to be the highlight. We should be talking about what he's doing with Doctor Who right now, and he seems to be distracting away from that, which I don't understand. Just keep your mouth closed for now. You know, once your show is on board, then you'll do your interviews, and then you can talk about all the things that, because people won't give a shit. If you're producing a good Doctor Who, then people will listen, but they won't listen to you right now. We have 5 years of this nonsense. The fandom is divided, and the fandom should be healing right now. And the situations like this are not going to help. That's all.
Ultimately, this is being unnecessarily confrontational, and people are already demoralized. Now, if you want to talk about a government that's demoralizing the people, why do you feed into that by demoralizing fans as well?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Exactly.
hypocritical, and I think you need to step back and just re-examine what you're doing and why you're doing it. And look, you know, you might get a few backslaps and a few likes on Instagram and Twitter, and you know, and it's always the people who've been participating in the harassment and bullying of people and trolling people, like yourself, like Charlotte, like Daniel, and so on. And you know, it shouldn't be tolerated from someone who's in a position of power. At least I will say Chibnall, however divisive he has not been on social media goading people like that.
Yeah.
Or making overtly political statements and interviews and things like that. I'll give him his dues on that. And maybe RTD could learn a little bit of humility rather than standing on his soapbox from his ivory tower telling everyone how terrible the world is at the moment when he's in a better position than most of us.
Thank you. Well, we'll leave it there. All I just want to say is let's hope now that this is the end of this for a while, because he can't keep it up. I just want to hear what he has planned for Doctor Who and keep that good feel factor going. It's like as if the good feel factor now has lost its momentum because of this, and it needs to go back now. So let's hope there's a few more positive announcements made, because I think we need some now.
Just focus on the production stuff, you know. If the world is so fucking shit and it's awful and the Tories are bastards, murderers, and all the rest of it, then entertain us and take us away from all that. We don't want to know.
Yeah.
We know what the situation is.
And here, if there are people like Lance's videos that you don't like because of their opinions and because their videos are, and I will admit, I've looked at these videos, they are designed to be controversial. This guy lives off controversy anyway. That's what he does. That's his thing. And you get
but you as a showrunner, working for the BBC, funded by the public, and then you go and call, regardless of what their political views are, which clearly didn't seem to be something that person brought up in whatever context, and then to abuse your position of power and your privilege, RTD, to use that platform and your following to induce more division and to attack someone personally for no reason. You might disavow and dislike his politics. It doesn't look to me like that person brought the politics up in that instance. But even if you find their views particularly abhorrent, I think you're on a much higher position.
Yeah.
And to abuse that position, to use such language against someone who's a fan, whether or not you agree with their politics, they are a fan of the show. They're a fan of your work. You know, you can't pick and choose your fans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't. You know,
That's
and if
the
you try
problem
to
again.
do that, then I'm sorry. That's incredibly ill-advised.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll leave it there because we could go on about this already, and I spoke about it in the last stream, and I just don't want to speak about it again. Just RTD, get your fucking act together. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And as I said to all the actors and actresses out there, you're not activists, right? Your job is to act, and if you can't do that and you want to become an activist, then leave your full-time job and become one. Okay,
do
you're
it
not
on
paid.
your own money, on your own time.
Yeah, this isn't the Ministry of Truth. You're not there to use publicly funded BBC as your own personal private
Exactly.
platform.
Right. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Really appreciate it. Go and check out the other streams as well. Check out all those channels also. The links are in the chat there. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, folks. Good night.
Good night.
See you soon.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.